Ultimate Captain Forrest here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over both these combatants to see who would win, more often not in a inverse situation. Ultimate Wolverine versus Ultimate Cyclops. If you guys enjoy Ultimate content, please leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for further content. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead, dive right in on both these combatants and their scaling. Now let's start off with Wolverine, then I'll move on, and then I'll talk about Cyclops. Ultimate Wolverine is around large town level plus physically. He has demonstrated feats such as beating up Gambit. Wolverine's traded blows with Sabretooth. This same Sabretooth fights Electro and hurts him. Electro himself, as mentioned, has defeated Iceman, who performed a large town level plus feat of his own. Very impressive. As for Wolverine's adamantium claws and the potency behind them, they should easily scale around country level. As mentioned, the Human Torch performs a country level feat with his flames. This same Hulk tanks a blast from the Human Torch, who performed this country level feat, and Hulk is powerful enough to blow away and extinguish those flames and send the Human Torch flying. In the same comic, Wolverine's adamantium claws stab into Hulk no problem. Ultimate Hyperion was able to blast Wolverine with his heat vision, and Wolverine's adamantium was just fine. This very same Hyperion clashes with Dr. Spectrum, and their clash created a giant explosion which was calced at multi-continental. Thor has demonstrated to physically hurt powerful characters like Hulk and Ultimate Loki, and even Hyperion himself. Ultimate Loki is above the 3D realm, as he views the realm and calls it a little 3D dimension. As he can step anywhere inside of it, he can live and perceive higher planes of reality such as Asgard, suggesting and showing he's above the mortal plane. Not even the humans can perceive Loki, which is why they cannot see him. So this can easily be argued for around Universal Plus for Thor, as well as the adamantium for Wolverine. Hulk himself has taken attacks from Thor, and Wolverine can physically damage Hulk with his claws. Okay, so that's going to round up AP. I'm going to go ahead and move on to speed. So speed, Wolverine should easily be massively hypersonic. So other characters like Spider-Man, they can dodge Electro's lightning. Sabretooth can do that too. He's able to contend with Electro and tag him as well. And Wolverine can also tag Sabretooth. So right there and there, you have some good speed scaling for Wolverine. Okay, so that's going to round up speed. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other feats that Wolverine brings to the table. So believe it or not, Ultimate Wolverine has some decent skill under his belt. He is an expert in hand-to-hand combat. He's trained in Black Ops and has different types of fighting maneuvers implanted in his brain, and he was able to hospitalize 50 to 60 men all in combat and not kill them. Logan is also stated to be adept with most weapons and fighting styles. Wolverine is a dirty fighter. With his adamantium claws, he sliced off Sabretooth's testicles, targets the neck and eyeballs. He also kicks Cyclops in the nuts. Wolverine also has his enhanced senses. It's very difficult to get the drop on him. He's able to catch his own scent from 4 miles away. This just proves how great of a tracker Wolverine is, even in the Ultimate verse. Wolverine also has Type 3 mortality. You see, what makes Ultimate Wolverine a little bit more different and unique from his 616 counterpart is that Wolverine's genetics and mutant powers are designed for survival. After Hulk rips Wolverine's head off, he is able to stay alive just fine without his body by breathing through his skin. He's also demonstrated to take 100 bullets and heal just fine. Wolverine is no slouch when it comes to his willpower and endurance like his 616 counterpart. Wolverine is able to fight even while being reduced to a skeleton. He's taken a lightning bolt from Storm, tanked atomizing fire from the Phoenix Force, and an optic blast. Wolverine's adamantium is indestructible, and it's been demonstrated to tank atomization unscathed. Lastly, Wolverine has his own Feral Berserker Rage, which gives him an unquantifiable boost in AP, as he was able to demolish a group of Sentinels. Wolverine's physiology has been altered so that he is invisible to telepaths and cannot be tracked. Powerful telepaths like Charles and Jean had trouble and were unable to read his mind, and Tony's Iron Man suit could not detect Wolverine. Wolverine's healing factor helps him resist and snap out of hypnosis. In terms of attack potency, Cyclops should easily scale to Wolverine, as Cyclops was able to damage Wolverine with a punch and also hurt Wolverine and send him flying with an optic blast. This very same Wolverine in fact has large town level scaling. Wolverine has demonstrated to trade blows with Sabretooth, who in turn is comparable to Electro and can trade blows with him. This is the very same Electro who has shown to be able to defeat Iceman in combat, and Iceman has shown to be capable of generating a mass array of ice that spanned many city blocks. The energy required to perform this feat was calculated at large town level. Electro is very capable of fighting and damaging a casual Spider-Man, who in the pages of Ultimatum survived a massive explosion which resulted in a 502 kilotons of energy. Now Spider-Man didn't exactly tank it like the Incredible Hulk, but he did survive it with minimal bodily harm. Wolverine has also demonstrated to pummel around Gambit, who was also able to fight Iceman. So right off the bat, Cyclops has some pretty decent AP scaling, especially with the chain scaling, so he definitely would scale to Wolverine in that regard. Now as for speed, Cyclops should easily have massively hypersonic plus reaction speed. He easily scales to Wolverine, as Wolverine can tag Sabretooth, who can easily react to Electro and should be comparable to Spider-Man, who can also do the same. Electro's attacks have been stated to be actual lightning bolts, which is pretty impressive. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about a little bit more about the leader himself, Cyclops, and other additional things he brings to the table. So Cyclops' mutant power is his optic blast, which allows him to fire off a force beam from his eyes involuntarily. He must wear his ruby quartz visor or sunglasses to neutralize the beams, allowing him to see. He is able to make great use of his visor, as he can press the button on his visor to remove the ruby quartz lens, allowing his optic blast to fire from his eyes, and he also has a button on his gloves to open his visor when compromised. Cyclops can shoot out his optic blast as a widespread to take out multiple foes. Cyclops can increase the potency of his optic blast, but in character he prefers to use a low frequency unless he is bloodlusted. Cyclops can lobotomize his foes with an optic blast. The range of Cyclops' optic blast can touch the clouds in the sky, which is very impressive since high clouds have the base heights of at least 3,000 to 7,600 meters and possibly higher. Cyclops is tactical with his optic blast. Cyclops can ricochet his optic blast off Colossus's head to tag a goon. Cyclops can blast the floor to make his foes lose their balance. Cyclops can also target weak points on a person's body with just his optic blast alone. He talks about a specific body part, noting that if a bullet tagged where he hit, the foe would have lost 5 pints of blood, showing his knowledge on vital areas. Cyclops has also demonstrated to use his optic blast to slow himself down when he's falling from the sky. Cyclops also has really good senses. He's used his hearing to detect and take out a goon with his optic blast. And Cyclops is also trained to operate blind also. Cyclops was able to endure falling from a cliff with broken bones. He goes on to survive on with nothing but bugs and inedible things while trapped in a cave for 26 days. Okay, so that's going to round up both these combatants. I'm going to go ahead give my thoughts on who I think wins more often than not in an inverse setting. So there's a lot of context to go over when it comes to the Ultimate Marvel universe and both Cyclops and Wolverine's entanglements. So we do know that Cyclops was able to physically damage Wolverine. They both have similar AP. They both have similar speed too. When we look at the scan of Cyclops using his optic blast to take out Wolverine, there's a lot of context in that situation. Wolverine actually allowed Cyclops to do that as punishment for Wolverine pushing Cyclops off the cliff, which caused Cyclops to sustain a lot of injuries. And of course, Wolverine lied and tried to write off Cyclops as if he actually died by accident. He died in action, when that wasn't the case. Now, when they actually fought in combat, Wolverine was actually very pissed off after Cyclops punched him and blasted him through a wall with an optic blast. Cyclops was actually shitting himself, and he was scared for his life when he saw Wolverine go into berserker mode, when he got really mad and he charged and went to go basically slice up Cyclops. Now, of course, Professor Xavier had to intervene he had to incapacitate Wolverine with his mind powers, and he noted to Cyclops that if it wasn't for him, he would basically be in pieces. Cyclops had no chance against Wolverine and he would lose. And of course Charles Xavier was very correct, because we notice later on in Ultimate X-Men that Wolverine is able to take another optic blast from Cyclops. It's just showing that Wolverine can take these attacks. So if there was to actually fight for real, I would give this to Wolverine more often than not. He has the endurance, he has the durability. Now Wolverine in the Ultimate Marvel universe is very similar to his 616 counterpart. They both have really good endurance and willpower feats, so Wolverine would be able to take a lot of optic blasts, and of course his healing factor would also kick in. It's not as great as, you know, the one in 616. His healing factor is a little bit limited in certain senses, but there's no way for Cyclops to actually put down Wolverine. Wolverine would pretty much go in, claw him up, and once those adamantium claws sink into Cyclops' skin, he's done for. He get incapacitated, he get decapitated, and that would be GG no re. So I see Wolverine ultimately being the dominant force in this situation. I would give victory to him. I'd say low diff, maybe mid diff. Ultimately, Wolverine just has better feats, and it's just showing in the fight that Cyclops was pretty much scared. He was pretty much in fear of his life. That's my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for the content. It's been real. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.